My name is Elena. I am 29 years old, and for many years I lived my life according to other people's expectations. I grew up in a small mountain town where traditions meant everything. My parents loved me, but they believed a woman's future should be simple: marry young, build a family, and never question the path chosen for her. At 19, I married a man I barely knew. Everyone congratulated me. They said I was lucky. They said I should be grateful. I smiled and thanked them, but deep inside, I felt like a stranger in my own life. Years passed. Every morning felt exactly the same. I cooked, cleaned, smiled when expected, and buried my dreams deeper and deeper inside my heart. Before marriage, I loved photography. I carried a camera everywhere and dreamed of traveling the world, but little by little, that dream disappeared. One rainy evening, everything changed. I was traveling home on a bus after visiting relatives in a nearby city. The weather was terrible. Rain hammered against the windows, and visibility was almost gone. Suddenly, the driver lost control. The bus skidded across the road and crashed into a barrier. The impact felt like an explosion. People screamed, glass shattered, luggage flew through the air. Then everything went dark. When I woke up, bright hospital lights hung above me. My body felt heavy. I tried to move my legs. Nothing happened. Panic rushed through me. A doctor sat beside my bed and gently explained that my spinal cord had suffered severe damage. "We don't know what recovery will look like," he said carefully, "but you may never walk again." His words echoed through my mind. Never walk again. For weeks I refused to accept reality. I avoided visitors. I stared at the walls. I cried when nobody was watching. The future I imagined had disappeared overnight. One afternoon, a young nurse noticed an old camera sitting on my bedside. "You must really love photography," she said. I looked away. "Not anymore." She smiled softly. "Maybe your legs were injured, but your eyes still work. Your creativity still works." That sentence stayed with me. The next day, I asked my brother to bring my camera. Holding it again felt strange. My hands trembled. But when I looked through the lens, something inside me woke up. I began photographing everything around me: sunlight entering the room, flowers left by visitors, children laughing in the hallway, old couples holding hands. For the first time since the accident, I felt alive. Months later, I left the hospital in a wheelchair. Life outside was not easy. Many people looked at me with pity. Some treated me like I was fragile. Others assumed my life was over. But I refused to believe them. I started sharing my photographs online. At first, only a few people noticed. Then dozens. Then hundreds. Soon, thousands of people followed my work. They connected with the emotions behind each image. My photographs were not perfect, but they were honest. As my confidence grew, I made another difficult decision. My marriage had become unhealthy long before the accident. For years I stayed because I was afraid of judgment. Now, I realized fear had already stolen too much of my life. So I chose freedom. The decision was painful, but it allowed me to finally breathe again. A few years later, another blessing arrived unexpectedly. I began volunteering at a children's center. There I met a little girl named Sophia. She was quiet, shy, and often sat alone drawing pictures. Over time, we became close. She trusted me. I cared for her. Eventually, I learned she needed a permanent family. After a long process, I adopted her. The day she called me mom for the first time, I cried. Not because of sadness, because of gratitude. Life had taken many things from me, but it had also given me gifts I never expected. Today, I travel across the country speaking about resilience and hope. I teach photography workshops. I encourage people who feel broken. And every time someone tells me I don't think I can continue, I share my story. Because I have learned something important. Strength is not about having a perfect life. Strength is choosing to move forward when life becomes difficult. We cannot control every storm. We cannot predict every challenge. But we can choose our response. Some people spend their lives asking, "Why did this happen to me?" I prefer a different question. What can I create from this experience? That question changed everything. Life is not measured by what we lose. It is measured by what we build afterward. So if you are facing a difficult season, remember this. You do not need to have all the answers today. You only need enough courage to take the next step. Even the darkest night event eventually gives way to morning. And sometimes the life waiting for you on the other side of pain is more beautiful than anything you originally planned.